Set our project directory. Click on the project directory button. Open up a folder called IKFan. Click Open to set your directory. We're going to go to File. We're going to load a scene from the Scenes folder called IKFanSetup.fxs. See, I have half of a torso here, and all I've put in are the back, neck, and head bones. Let's click into Setup. Go to middle mouse click on Back 2. We'll zoom in. Use the plus key on the keypad to add a bone. We'll rotate it out on heading. And we'll position the edge of this bone right along the left side of the shoulder muscle here. Switch to a top view, make sure we're in the middle of the shoulder. Go back to a front view, open up the rename block, name this one Clavicle R. Switch to a left view. We'll bank this so Y is facing directly out to the left. Go back to a front, add another bone. We're going to rotate this bone out on heading and adjust the length so that it sits right on top of the elbow. Go to a top view, pitch it back so it's on the bony part of the elbow. Go back to a front view. We'll adjust the length of this so it's on the edge of the other side of the shoulder. Going to name this one Shoulder R. Use the plus key to add another bone. We'll drag this one to the elbow. Go to a top view, make sure we're in the right spot. Call this bone Bicep R. Use the plus key to add another bone to that. Pitch this one forward. Go to a front view. We'll rotate it up on heading. Adjust the length so it's right on top of the wrist. Call this one Forearm R. Add a last bone to that one. Just leave it where it is. Call this one Hand R. Let's go back to Clavicle R. Add another bone. Rotate this one down on heading and adjust the length so it sits right on top of Back 2. Switch to a left view, pitch it forward. Call this bone Back Muscle R. Let's add an IK null. Call this one IK Hand R. Use the plus key to add that to the list. We'll drag this outside of the hierarchy to the bottom of the list, and we'll position this over here on top of the wrist. Now let's go into Command. We'll create a new variable. We're going to do an IKAlign expression from the bicep to the wrist here on our null. Just call this one IKAlign Hand R. Select an expression called IK2D from the list here. First field is the root, which in this case is Bicep R. Second field is the end, which is Hand R. Third is our control null, IK Hand R. One for alignment and one to turn this on. We'll right click on the button here to add it to the expressions field. So when we highlight our null, you can see that our arm moves just fine. If we go to a front view and rotate it down, you'll see that it pinches itself off. What we want to do is we want to make the shoulder fan downward to smooth out the transition between the shoulder and our arm, so it doesn't look so bad. Let's go reset that keyframe and animate. Reset. Let's add a command. Grabs the angle and puts it back in to our shoulder. So let's grab bicep. We'll highlight heading first. Let's create a new variable. We'll call this one Align Shoulder Heading. Go down to the buffer here and we right mouse click, to add heading to the expression. Since this is a fan bone, we want the angle of bicep to only be half of what it is here. So type in divide by 2. Now, let's highlight shoulder R. We'll select heading. We'll open up the channels block and we'll add the shoulder heading to this expression. So you can see when we move our IK null, our shoulder fans out just fine. Except it's not attached to our IK null anymore. Well, that's easy to fix. We'll override this expression with another IKAlign. So we'll highlight the one on top, IKAlign. We'll copy that one. So it's hand R_1. Let's name this one IKAlign hand again R. We'll drag this to the bottom of the list so it applies itself last. Now we have a fan bone that works on heading that makes our shoulder splay out. Now let's do the rest for the other axes, because we don't have any fanning on the pitch or bank. Let's copy that expression. So it's heading 1. We'll change that one to pitch. We'll go down here and we'll type in pitch instead of heading. We'll highlight heading under the channels here. In the pull down menu, we'll select pitch. So now, you see when we rotate it, pitch happens half. So highlight pitch, we'll copy that. Go down here, we'll name this one bank, align shoulder bank. We'll change this to bank. We'll highlight pitch and change it to bank. So now we have a fan that works on all axes, and it stays attached to the null. Go to File. I'm going to save this scene as IKFan2.fxs.